Hey folks, woo! I'm down here. Yeah. Got a little picture of me. Didn't want to scare the camera too bad. I got a face for radio. So, folks, I use a Iwata HPCS. What is that? Yeah, CS. Love it. Little gummy. And I use Windex to do all my cleaning of my gun, and I've even used it for thinning out sometimes. It works good too. Fairly inexpensive if you get the generic brand. So we're going to be painting these up here just in a few seconds. I'm going to get them on their little shabingadongas, and we're going to have them ready for you to paint the first primer coat. Hey folks, so I've got my 10 done over here. I don't know if you can see them all in frame here, but I got my 10 done, and I use an opaque white for my primer. Get her all nice, shake it up. It's usually a pretty thick coat here. So you want to clean off all this stuff right here on that spooge there. That can get into your airbrush. So, and I take a little bit of my reducer and put in there. And we're going to be using a lot of it because we're going to be spraying quite a few of them. So, and with that, I got that in there. Then I put my swirler in. You guys all make your own stuff for doing this. I just have made stuff over the years to fit my needs. I'm going to get my pressure where I want it. I'm going to go about 20 psi. I'm going to back flow up in there and get some going. Got a pretty smooth deal. Put my cap on. I don't always run my cap, but when you're running it fairly full, you want to run your cap. So here we go. Set that one up here to air dry until I can get to the regular drying. Oops, there we go. I might give myself a little bit more air pressure. That's not quite enough. There we go. Yeah, that's what I like. Little run on that one. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is eye primer. We're going to have to go 2 coats of primer on this. Then after your primer coats, less is more. So primer coats you want on fairly good. It helps cover imperfections in the metal and stuff like that. There we go. That's 5 done already. That's pretty quick. And this is a fairly quick pattern here. Everybody's a little different on their airbrush technique. You'll find your own that works for you. Two more to go. Then I'll put the second coat on and air dry it. Heat set the paint. Then after that we'll be on to our next paint color, which will be a pretext of paint yellow. That's pretty good. Last one. And then I'll put the second coat on. As you guys seen that, you don't need to see another, So, question for you. Anybody got the answer to this? I'm going to give it at the end of the video, I think. Heck with it. Why is Tigger always staring in the toilet? Why, heck, he's looking for poo. Alright folks, well, we're on our next step. As I said, we're going to be painting these yellow. Do it really quick like. So I got my air pressure set down, or I need to raise it up a little bit. Got it set at 20 psi. Not running much, a little thicker paint, so. There we go. And we'll heat set those here in a minute. So those look nice already. Yeah, baby. I can't wait to put these to work on Flathead Lake. Alright, we're going to heat set one of these here real quick. So I want you to see, this is my deal here. But watch that color change with the deal there. See how it was shiny to more of an opaque color. that's what we do. So folks, we're going to get done heat setting these, and our next step will be at the other table, and we'll be cutting out stencils for them. Okay? Folks, we are now at the spot where we're going to do make a stencil. So what I want to do is find my center point here on my cards. So how wide are they? Just under 2 inches, so inch and 7/8 will be my center point. For getting center here. Inch and 7/8. Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they're 2 inch. 2 inch. Alright, so inch and 7/8 was right. So make our line across for so we have that reference all the way. There we go. 1 inch. Should measure from the same side, but 1 inch is going to be 1 inch on either side. Alright. So we have our center line. I need to go grab a jig yet, so there's our center point there. So grab a jig real quick. Come, chameleon. Yeah. Whatever that's on. So I'm going to put the nose and the tail right at the center mark. And I'm going to make 2 reference marks on this for my tip. Alright, now we're going to trace around that. Perfect. So when I made that reference point for the nose, and the one for where the tail goes. If they were clear stencils, I could do it clear easier. But here's our stencil here. I'll finish that. There we have it. So that's going to be our stencil point there, so we know where to punch our holes in that. So, but here's what we want to do is we want to line our card up there. Oh, perfect. It'll do, donkey. And we'll make our reference point there. So we're at 1/2 inch. So if I go in 1/2 inch, there we go. How far are we on this one? 5/8. So, straight on. There we go. So now we know how to lay that in there, and that'll be laying just like that. Trace that out. Good enough for the girls I used to date. Alright, so we're pretty darn close on the two of those. As you can see, we have a right side and a left side, and this side and that side. Well, all you have to do is flip them over since they're a flat piece of stock. Then we'll get our stencil, our punches out, and I go with the largest hole for the punch, and I drop down this one. So we're going to do our largest first. Oops, 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 oops. Oh, what a mess. Oh well. You know where I'm going with it. I think. So, I look like amateur hour here. I've been doing it for God knows how long. Alright. So we have our eyeball is pretty much going to be right in this section. I'm going to put an X for the eyeball. That gives us where not to punch. There. So we got our punch set up. Yeah, that's good. So I can lay this one just like this with these reference marks on there. And I can be pretty much spot on. As you see, my line goes right through there. So, and I'll take my stencil just a hair. There we go. So it's a dot on a dot, this pattern. Alright, so there's our next stencil there that we have to cut, and we're going to go with a smaller hole. We'll get that out later. I want to get this project done for you guys. Alright, so we're going to go right. So we have our 2 stencils, and let's see how they mark up. Look at that. They lay out pretty darn good. One's just a little bit bigger than the other. So I'm going to take the small one and do this and make the hole smaller. There we go. There we are. Now look at her. There we go. You still see the black lines in there now. So stencils are done. We are ready for our stencil job. So we're going with bright green transparent in the Cretex, and there's the number of it. So that's our first color of business. Here we won't need much, just a little tiny dab will do ya. So that's probably even more than I need. So I lay my project down here, so my eye goes there. Nice. So I'm going to get my air pressure set. I'm going to drop her down to about 18 degrees. Alright. Here we go, folks. Pretty simple. I got a little bit too much pressure on that second dot from the back, as you see it ran a little bit, but these are for me, that's okay. So, and I accidentally went up into the eye. That'll be fine too, because there's an eyeball going in there. So that one, that side's done on that one. I'm going to do 2 more, and we're going to back her off just a bit. There we go. Now I'm going to make a line right here, so I have a reference. Across. That should be sitting right behind the eye when I have that stencil set on it. So, yeah, let's do that. There we go. We got perfection that time. There we go, folks. Not always perfect. Try. So like I said, I made that reference point there. And you can get into mass detail on that. So there's 3 of them done that way. I'm going to go through and do the rest of them, both sides, and then I will come back and dot with the other one here just momentarily. Alright, folks, so we're ready for this stencil here. I am going to get Wicked with this one. This is Wicked Jet Black. So that's the color we're using for our dots. Shake her up a little bit. Gotta make noises when you're making tackle. You just got to. Keeps it interesting. Just a little dab will do ya. That's the last one. Get my pressure set down. Alrighty, let's get this first one done. Perfect. Look at that. That'll catch fish all day long. We'll do 3 of them. So all we have to do is lay our dots on there and get them lined up. Get the band in there just right. Perfect. Dot to dot. Look at that. That's looking good in the neighborhood. Alright, our 3rd one. So you see how doing all that little bit of precision helps out to make these stencils quite a bit. Nice. Look at that. Green on the other side. Oh boy, folks, I forgot to tell you about, we got one more paint step before the epoxy. We got to put the red orange throat on it. Alright, now after that we will be at epoxying. Alright folks, so while we're getting ready to do the throat, I'm doing a fluorescent orange in the fluorescent Cretex. So we'll just need a little bit of that, just put a little throat on them, and then after that we'll be epoxying them. I'm going to need a little bit thinner in that one. Reducer. So it just blew the gun out at 50 PS. I'm going to drop her down. A little sputter, need a little more pressure. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to do 3 of these and we're going to call it good. There we go, just a little throat on it. Hey folks, we're back for another segment. I said I was going to be doing the epoxy. We forgot one important step: eyeballs. And I decided on this one, I'm not going with the 3D style eyeballs. I'm going to paint my eyeballs. I think they look so much better on tackle than the 3D, and more cost effective. So what we're going to do is, I got Cretex opaque red here. Oh, let me get it back this way. Opaque red for my eye. You want opaques, and then I've got opaque black, and this would be like my black primer and stuff like that. Use quite a bit of it for different patterns. So with that said, we're going to get going on it. I'll do 3 of them. And that turns out really nice. So once that dries, and then you put your pupil in there, wow. And so as you see, my little daubers here, they're nails. I use nails and put them in a dowel. Works wonderful for dots and stuff like that. Didn't get that quite good enough. There we go. Happy with that. So there's 3 with the eyes dotted. I will come back to you. I'll finish the other 7, and then we'll come back and we'll do the black dots. Alright folks, I've the heat set the eyes, so now I'm going back and we're going to dot them with a black dot, and that looks pretty darn good there. Yes baby. We'll do 3 of these, and then I'll finish out the rest and come back to you for the next step. we go. Good news on the wife. She was able yesterday to get out of her chair and get a hold of her walker on her own, and she walked 10 feet with the walker. So that's a milestone for my wife with this surgery and Alzheimer's. So if you guys think about it, keep praying for my wife. So, all right, I'll be back with you here in just a few. All right, folks, we're back for the next segment. I don't know if I showed this in some other videos, but I use a little emery cloth here, and that's to get the paint off the hook here. So you just come down that hook just a little bit with the emery cloth, and you want that paint off there. And then I'll hit it with the back side of my my blade on my knife too, so that works pretty good. But that cleans off all that paint off that hook, getting it ready for the tail, because a lot of the glue and stuff is on the tail. So my black dots are still so I'm trying not to get up in the head area, so they're still drying. I just let them air dry. So this is one of two ways to do this. It's a little easier doing it this way. I didn't have the eyes dried out, so get those cleaned up real quick. So that's what we do. All right, folks, we're back here doing our epoxy now. We're gonna get our paint sticks out. Nope, I think I have one out already. Nope, that's got epoxy on it. So I get these cheap ones from Kmart, Walmart. So, well, Kmart's not around no more. Walmart. I've had them I bought a whole bunch of them. I bought like $40 worth of them years ago, just knowing I was going to be doing a lot of this. So, and I'm still going through them. So folks, give me a second. And so my resin, it's been sitting for a while. I want to nuke that just a hair for about 10 seconds. So when I come back, I heated up my resin. It's nice and smooth there. So now I got my little syringe, and we're going to take 2 milliliters out of here. I'm going to let that bubble raise all the way out of there so I don't get it in my resin. And we just take her down to 2. There we go. We have 2 in there. Squirt that into our Shabinga Donga. Put the cap back on. Our hardener usually is pretty good, so we don't have to deal with that. And I use Flex Coat light formula rod wrap from Flex Coat. It works really well. And you want to put exactly the same amount, so this gives you even. You'll never have. So I go 2.1 on there, just a little bit of extra hardener, and we're gonna squish that in there and put that over here. I got my little tool for stirring it up, and then we're gonna get out after we get this done, so we want to stir it for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, get it all mixed together really good. And then we're going to put in some UV blue purple glitter, and it really makes these pop, and the fish like it too in the low light conditions. And we're wintertime up here in Montana. So in fact it's November 22nd today, and people have been ice fishing for almost 2 weeks now on some of the lakes. so that's pretty good. I haven't got out yet. Busy taking care of the wife, which is #1 priority for me right now. Sorry about that. Bumped the table. So we're gonna put just what I wanted, that UV flake in there. Go a little bit heavy on the flake, so that's my preference. So get my little stir stick out again, get that UV all mixed in there, and you can see that in there. Look at that. Look at that. And it really pops in the dark. So got a few bubbles in there. We'll let it sit for a second and let the bubbles get out of it. Alright. Clean off your clean utensil for the next go around. So here we go. I always start at the head. I don't have to so much now due to the fact I didn't use 3D eyes, but I'll start at the head anyway. Just, and you can see that. Look at that change already. That is beautiful. Beautiful. You want to do long sweeps with your brush, and that'll get all the bubbles out of it. So there we go. There's our first one done. We'll do 3 of them, and we'll come back after that. We'll do these 3. Alright, here they are, folks. They're on the rotisserie. So it'll be 24 hours. Then I'll take them off. Probably about 15. I'll come out tomorrow morning and take them off, and they'll be ready for the next step. Alright, folks. We'll see you at the next segment, putting the tails on. Hey, folks, we're here for the last and final part of the segment here. We're going to be putting these tails on these. Here is a Shiver Minnow style jig from Moonshine. Oh, missed it. Well, 2 steps, but the other step's just putting the hook on it. And what I use on these is a VMC, and it pulls apart. I love that #4 hook. So here's one that is done for reference. Okay. We're going to do 3 of these and call it a video. So, but I've enjoyed doing this, getting started back up. I need comments on what you like, what you don't like, too long, too short, all that. Fill me in on everything. Too many rabbit trails, well, them are going to happen because I'm a rabbit trail man. I love to follow rabbit trails. So we're going to take our jig in our bullnose jaw from Griffin here. And we're going to put this on there. Oh yeah, that's got a way better fit. But I don't like that. The other one's sprung on. Nice and level. Alright, my Loctite super glue gel. You want to use the gel. So There is one that has less it's kind of opaques out a little bit on the tail. Alright. Oh, shitty darn. Shabinga donga. And I like to put one right here. It's kind of like a dabble do ya. There we go. How do you like that, folks? That's beautiful, I think. It's going to work good, last a long time. Not going to mess with it. So, then I put it on my drying table here, which is my table. Just let them hang. And I usually let them sit, oh, at least 10 hours. So, something on the hook there. So, we're going to load her up, get her in. Alright. I like to come in underneath, get that tight fit, as tight as I can get it on there, and up against that tail. That's fitting good. A little bit too much tweak. There we go. I like that. Alright, there's number 2 done. There's 10 altogether. I can't wait to fish these this winter through the ice. I have not fished them through the ice yet. I did pretty good open water with them. Very prominent jigs. And this color was just one of my hot colors. And that's why I painted it in some crankbaits that I do. So there's that. Nice and straight. Load that up. Maybe not. This is the truth. This is the life of a tackle maker. This happens constantly in tackle making. I want you to know that. You're always screwing up and then winning. So go. Happy with that. So folks, with that all being said, I want to thank you for watching my video, my start out video. What else? Subscribe. Don't forget to go hit that ringy dingy bell down there and subscribe. Then hit that notification bell down there so you get it when I put these up. I'm going to be doing everything from I got a whole plan of stuff. I'm going to be doing some blade baits here shortly, airbrushing them, probably pouring them through the whole setup. They're one of my other favorites to use. We're going to be doing some flies, tube flies. We're going to be doing some mylar flies for what they fish on the Great Lakes for the king salmon. We're going to be doing some of those. We're going to get a few ice fishing videos in, hopefully here before too long. My wife's progressing in her physical therapy, and once I feel that I'm able to walk out of the house and leave her for a couple hours, I'm going to get some fishing time in for you. Hopefully by mid-January or early January, I'll be back guiding a little bit, so maybe I'll be able to get you some guiding video too. So, well folks, I thank you. Keep watching. I'm gonna teach you the fly that caught the state record pumpkin seed here from Montana. I caught it this spring on one of my flies I tied, so I'm pretty jacked and excited about that. So I know my tackle works good, so keep following. I'll help you catch more fish.